Happy Tuesday. I'm CBS 8 meteorologist Vanessa Paz. Hope you're all having a beautiful weekend so far. We have been just under some stunning conditions, and it looks like those conditions will continue throughout most of the week as we wrap up the month of January. Here's a live look outside at 8:20 on your Tuesday morning. We're looking at nothing but clear skies, and that clearing of the clouds in comparison to yesterday has allowed for adiabatic cooling. What that means is all of that warming that warmed up the surface is able to escape back into the atmosphere, and it allows for rapid cooling. That's why things started on a brisk note this Tuesday morning. Now, this is a live look outside facing west. Right now, the coastal area is sitting in the 40s and 50s, so even the coastal spots are getting in on this cold action. Meanwhile, the inland valleys also waking up to plenty of 40s. Some spots were in the 30s just a couple of hours ago. As the temperatures rise, though, we are expected to soar above normal by about 3 to 5 degrees or so. Headlines as we get Tuesday going. We are going to continue to have some brisk mornings and nights ahead. So if you have any plans, make sure that you're layering up. Maybe you have sporting events with the kids. Make sure that they bring a jacket as part of their outfit. It's going to be warm throughout the week with 80s making a return on Thursday. And we also have a round of mild Santa Anas towards the second half of the week. Today's highs, we are going to defrost from the 40s to the 70s, close to 80 degrees for some neighborhoods inland. So another incredible day on tap. We have a ridge of high pressure. It's going to weaken a little bit. That's going to allow for some subtle cooling on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have another ridge that's going to creep up over the west coast. So that's going to bring another round of warming. We can't talk about the weather without mentioning the Arctic blast that's continuing to take hold for much of the nation, especially the northeast and southeast of the country. In fact, it has been so cold that advisories, warnings have been triggered for much of the northeast as well as the south. High temperatures for today, not really seeing any improvement quite yet, but as we get closer to the end of the week, we will start to see some warming. Those daytime highs a little closer to average across the country. But for now, we're still below freezing for so many areas, and the negatives for Bismarck, Minneapolis, as well as Chicago. Those are some of the coldest spots, and we're not done with the snow quite yet. In fact, there's another snowstorm that's expected to develop in the northeast quadrant of the country this weekend. Over the next 7 days, the coastal areas will stay in the low 70s, high 60s all the way through the middle of the week, and the warmest days over the next 7 will be on Thursday and Friday. For the inland valleys, we'll be in the mid 70s up until Wednesday. So we're still going to be incredibly nice. I mean, gorgeous conditions. And then as we get to the end of the week, things are going to start to warm up. We're talking about 80s making a return for most of the inland neighborhoods. So if you're banking on nice weather to wrap up the end of the work week into the weekend, you're in for a treat. It looks like conditions are going to cooperate. Dry skies now all the way through next week. The mountains and desert areas, a couple of days of the 60s, then we're in the 70s by Thursday. The desert area is seeing 80s rebound by Friday.